Ried Cleaners property, I'd like to ask Chris Rumble to provide an update.
Good evening. We want to take this opportunity to provide a quick update on Ried Cleaners. There was a story in the Eagle last week about air quality and how the post office is dealing with the impacts of that. Because of that, and we regularly receive inquiries about the site, about developing it, or what the town is doing. So just a quick update. Last time we met as a community to talk about this was back in November, when we began to write an EPA cleanup grant to try to clean up the site. So not a lot new since then, but I will just remind you the town does own the site. We are not responsible for the contamination. We took it because of non-payment of taxes, and that shields us from the liability. But there are obviously social and economic and other community reasons to try to address the contamination there and hopefully clean it up. It's primed for redevelopment or some reuse. So we'd like to be able to do that eventually and put it back on the tax rolls if possible, or find some community use for it. So we continue to use an existing EPA brownfield assessment grant to track the contamination that is in the groundwater under the site. We also do air testing of the surrounding properties. And I guess, long story short, there are no air quality problems in the adjacent properties. So on Rossiter Street, or the bank, the Salisbury Bank, or the library and the children's library across the street, there's no air quality problems. So I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that. We do continue to try to figure out how deep the contamination has gone. We know approximately how far laterally it extends. It extends just across Main Street and maybe a little north and a little south. But it's gone fairly deep into bedrock, as these types of contaminants do. They sink, actually. So it's pretty deep below ground surface, which makes it really expensive to clean up, if you can clean it up. But I did want to just let folks know that we hope to hear on the cleanup grant in June or July maybe. So hopefully at that point we'll be able to put together a scope of work to actually begin cleanup of the building and of the site. But in the meantime, hopefully people can go about their business confident that we are looking at it, we're testing it, and the air quality in the surrounding buildings is not a concern.
We can accept and spend the grant without town meeting approval?
Yes.
It's coming after town meeting?
Yes.
So I'm really interested in this particular site because of the importance it is to the community, and that it's integral position on Main Street. And I'm wondering if this is a possibility to start community engagement and get together a similar task force that was put together for the open space and recreation plan or the complete streets, that we take these different ideas that people have been talking about, whether it's parking or housing or giving it to a developer, having an RFP or having a pocket park, and involve the community and have it structured in a way that we lead it, and maybe a member of the select board is on the the task force, and obviously Chris and a planning board member, and maybe have it divided up so people that feel strongly about a particular use for this property can have an ability to engage and have an opportunity to present their ideas. Because I really, I just think about what happened with the firehouse, and I just feel like if we get, or if we're proactive and know what we're kind of going to be remediating for, then we'll have an idea of, okay, when it comes to remediation, what type of remediation? Is it going to be a park? Is it going to be housing? Is it? So I just feel what I'd like to do is set up an opportunity to even add it onto the agenda and set up some kind of task force or working group that we can invite members of the community to take part and really have engagement on this level, because it's such a key site for Great Barrington, and I've heard so many really great ideas, but I'd love to have, it presented and researched really, really well. So I guess my request is to add it onto the agenda and formulate, a working group that is, comprised of members at large and members of our board. So I could put that in a formal request, or we
He's
could
got it.
just,
I have it in
you
my-
got it. So I just want to be proactive about it. I just, knowing that we're going to hear, if we get this grant coming up in the summer, it would be great to have this started so that we can, have a presentation, say, hey, this is a great idea, this isn't working. So long-winded way to